Hi, today let us talk about leaders. Leaders are in every field. Leaders are in political field. Leaders are in corporate field. There are spiritual leaders, but very few leaders are in sports. Yes, there are leaders in sports, but what I want to distinguish is leaders mostly in political or spiritual thing normally influence across the countries. They cross the boundaries of their area and they go beyond. Probably the reach is there, but leader in sports normally is not heard. And even if it is there, not that he or she crosses the borders, go across countries and to the world, because their area is limited. Probably their reach is also limited. But today, I want to tell you about a leader who's great leader. Probably people don't talk about him like leader, like say Steve Jobs or Mahatma Gandhi or Abraham Lincoln or Winston Churchill, and they may say that he is not in that category. But I'll tell you, there is one uniqueness in him is that he crossed the boundaries of countries. He crossed and he created history. He changed the things, and that is his great leadership. Who is this person? He is none other than our Kapil Dev. Kapil Dev changed the history. In 1983, Kapil Dev and his team won the World Cup, and things changed in India. The people looking at cricket, their attitude had changed. And as they say, now cricket is a religion in India. And cricket has become an industry. And it is not just 1 billion people in India, but across the world. Cricket is recognized differently, and the dominance of India has increased manifold from the day Kapil Dev and his team influence to win the World Cup. Now, Kapil Dev, great quality of leadership. There are many, and this all happened from the day or from the time India won the World Cup. I want to tell you today because we are in the month of June and we can't forget the days of 1983, what happened in England. So, to tell you the qualities, the greatest quality Kapil Dev has is influencing and influencing to such an extent. Let me tell you, when India started 1983 World Cup in England, or when India went there, nobody, nobody expected that they are going to win the World Cup. Forget others. The Indian team themselves were not at all thinking of winning the World Cup. In fact, they have given interviews now and they said they have booked tickets to go to US when World Cup was on, thinking that they will exit very soon. And they were not wrong. Look at the history. This was third World Cup. Earlier there were two World Cups, 1975 and 1979. And in these two World Cups, India had won only one match. So India was not very expert or little unknown to hold this one day game. They were not probably trained to play this one day game and they were taking it as if a Sunday fun game. So on this background, India started World Cup. In fact, the first match, which was against West Indies, and West Indies was on the top that time under the leadership of Clive Knight. And you won't believe our own press reporter who had gone to England to cover this World Cup, he didn't attend and he wrote that thinking that India will lose anyway against the West Indies. How can they win? And he didn't go to cover that match and India won that match. And Although entire team probably and entire world was not thinking of winning World Cup, there was one person, and who was Kapil Dev. He was confident that we will do well. Probably he also may not be thinking that we will win the World Cup, but we will do well. That is what he was thinking. He had full confidence in himself and his team, and he influenced them, and that was the result of first two matches we won. But then sailing was not smooth, and again we lost two matches. So the day came, 18th June 1983, where it was a do or die match. If we would have lost that match, we would have been out of World Cup. And imagine the scenario when Kapil Dev walks in to the ground on that day, 18th June. Already India's score was 9 runs for 4 wickets. And soon it became 17 runs for 5 wickets. Kapil Dev was there, standing. Imagine what he was thinking. And let me tell you, there is another quality of leader. Is lead from the front. And he exactly did that. He influenced team to win 2 matches and came to that stage. But when things were in bad shape, 17 runs for 5 in a World Cup match, he stood there. He rampaged Zimbabwe bowling. He scored the highest ever score that time in a one-day match. Is 175 in just 132 balls. So he not only accelerated run rate, he also managed to keep some of his co-members' wickets, because he needs one person there on the non-striker end. So he managed also that, and the score was 266 for 8, and India won that match. That made history, that India chances to go in semi-finals increase. I can go on talking about this World Cup for hours, but I just want to tell you about few qualities, because I was a young boy that time and I watched all the matches, and I was thrilled how Indian team made the progress. But I don't want to bore you with all the details. Probably you may not get bored, but thinking the time limitation, I want to tell you a few things about this match. So the first thing is he influenced his team. He instilled in their mind, we can do something. And when the things were in bad shape, he went ahead in the front and he played his role again as a leader. And he brought his team finally to the final match. I'm not going to talk about semi-final and other matches. There are many interesting things happen, but let us focus on a few things of Kapil Dev's leadership. The final match was against mighty West Indians, who had won 1975 and 1979 World Cup, and they were looking for hat-trick to win third consecutive World Cup. And they were in a position to do that. They had a great batsmen like Clive Lloyd, Vivian Richards, Greenwich, and Desmond Haynes, and great bowlers like Andy Roberts, Garner, Michael Holding. Means, as they say in Hindi, naam hi kafi hai, dar lag jayega. It was really scary to play against them and thinking of winning against them. So Clive Lloyd won the toss and put India into bat, and India could manage to do only 183 in 60 overs. Those days, one-day matches were for 60 overs. And in 60 overs, India made only 183. Imagine, friends, 3 per over was required for West Indians with great batsmen they were having. So, in dressing room, the atmosphere was quite somber. This is what is actually told by Krishnamachari Sirkar, who was opening batsman in that team, in an interview to a Tamil channel, what happened in the dressing room. And friends, very important. In dressing room, people were not thinking, they were probably thinking that we have come to this stage, which is also a great achievement, and we will be runners up. They were not thinking of winning against West Indies. That time, what Kapil Dev as a captain told the team, he just didn't tell, come on, we'll win the match. Probably that would not have convinced the team. But what he said was very important. A great leader, Kapil Dev. He said, resist, don't give away easily. He was knowing that people are not thinking about winning because that is not in their dream also, because mighty West Indians, so they are influenced by that. But what he actually awakened in the team's mind is resist, don't give away very easily. And that not only he just said, when team went to field, he also along with them did his role very brilliantly. Lead by example is what they say in leadership quality. He actually led the team. He bowled 11 overs, and out of that, 4 were maiden against the mighty West Indian batsmen. 4 maiden overs in the final of World Cup. He did that. West Indians were thinking that in 30 overs they will win this match because it's just 183. But he put them under control, and not only he influenced and he encouraged, and his co-players like Mohinder Amarnath, Madan Lal, Roger Binney, and all other fielders, they did their role. And the brilliant catch, running catch, Kapil Dev took of Vivian Richard. Probably that moment match was turned and India won the World Cup. Friends, I want to tell you, in our professional and personal life, always think about this, how Kapil Dev managed in 1983 World Cup. He led people by examples. He was on the front when it is required. And remember, past performance, don't bother. Always they say in management, past performance is not guarantee for future performance. Yes, but converse is also true. Past failures doesn't mean you will again fail in future. So follow this. Remember what heroic team was that and the leadership of Kapil Dev. And in your life, think about winning your own World Cup. You will change your life. Please inspire by Kapil Dev. In this month of June, I want to tell you this again and again. So thanks to Kapil Dev and thank you all for listening to me.